Hey tubes. Okay, I'm going to do some work on this today. I've decided actually I'm going to steal the carburetor from the Big Red Racer. So, they are the same engine, so I'm figuring I'm going to take the carburetor off of it. And then when I get the new one in the mail, I will just put it on there. So, this is the issues I'm having. A few people were giving me good suggestions. I actually tried every single suggestion that people gave me, but I tried them before they gave them to me. So what I did was I even unhooked the fuel line at the pump, held it up, filled it with carb cleaner, and tried to start the engine. I even sprayed ether in the intake while the carb cleaner was in the fuel line. Still would not suck it through. So most likely the main jet in the carburetor is completely plugged. And like I said in the previous video, I cannot get the float bowl off because one screw is stripped and the other one does come out. So I could pop the head off the one, but then I'm only stuck with one screw. So but this carburetor is rebuildable. I could drill and retap that screw hole, which is pretty good. So this one is rebuildable. And because that carburetor on that has exactly the same problem. Has I believe one stripped out, but one does come loose. I'm not 100% sure though. But anyways, the carburetor I'm getting is actually for a 22 horse, but they're all the same from, I guess, 18, 19 all the way up. So they're the same blocks. So basically, I think that's either a 22 or 20 horse over there. So technically, I'm going to be making this like a 20 horse engine just by changing out the carb. That's all that's different between these carburetors is a few of the jets in the carburetor are a little bit bigger for the, really, it's all it is the torque specs. So, and another thing that's unfortunate, I got no power. My lights and this plug right here are ran off of a GFI. I believe it's this plug. I'm not 100% sure if this plug here is working or not. I don't think it is, because the way it's wired, I got a main junction over there, just underneath that window. Then I got a line going that way, so I got power going that way, but I don't got no power going this way. So basically, from the phone over, I have no power. So because it comes over and the line goes out to the GFI, it comes back in, so it protects the GFI, and it comes to this plug here, goes up to my light switches. So the GFI is protecting the circuit, so that means I don't got no lights. The only reason why I wired it like that is so the outside light would be protected by GFI. And if you don't know what GFI stands for, it's ground fault circuit interrupter. So that GFI is actually working, but the problem that I'm having is my second GFI at the very end. It's tripped because it's full of water. So it's not working. So if I really wanted to, I could disconnect it up in the light. Just unhook, there's a 3-conductor wire right there, and there's 2 hots and a negative in there. So one hot goes to the light, it's a switched hot going to my light, and then I got a always hot line going across to my plug, and then it shares a neutral. So if I really wanted to, I could just pop off that light and disconnect the one wire, turn off the power in the house, and then just disconnect the one hot leg. But I don't think I'll bother. I can live with what I got for power, and it's a good setup that I have. And yeah, I do got 2 GFIs. Basically, if that's one there, basically that one down there is tripped because that one up there is basically shorting out because of the water. That's basically what's going on with the electrical. Why I don't have power. It's a good setup to have, but it's kind of a pain in the ass right now because I got no lights. But I got most of my plugs are working, so that's one thing. And I don't recall if that plug there will be working or not. And I don't think that plug up there is working because this light here ain't working. Yeah, so I don't think that plug's working because that plug there is wire comes down, crossed, and up just behind that TV up there to a plug. So none of this is working. I got a different battery for my stereo, But hopefully it's charged enough, because I can't run my battery tender either, because that plug's dead. So I might end up having to switch around a couple of those wires. I do use that plug at the end a lot, but either try and fix that so the water doesn't get in it, get a different box, or figure out something. That light doesn't even work anyways, so anyways, luckily it's daylight and I got enough light out here to work, so anyways, I'm going to get to work, and stay tuned. Okay, I got the carburetor off the Red Rocket here. As you can see, that's actually the one from the engine that's on the Roper. So I just might as well put them where they have to go, so you can tell them apart by the fuel filter. So on this one here, I have the fuel filter after the pump, but that fuel line will come back off, and we'll go back with this engine here. But anyways, I did end up taking the hood off. I tried to set the hood off to the side, but it ended up falling. I don't think nothing really pulled. Should all be okay. The oil line seems to be okay, but these motors are identical, like I told you, and obviously you guys should know, if you know these engines at all, you know they're identical engines. So it was a bugger of a job to get the top cover off with the hood on, so I didn't really want to take the hood off, but then I just ended up taking the hood off anyways. So that's the bad carburetor. Don't think I showed this, but there's the just leaking gas out it. There's the stripped out screw right there that will not come out. So that carburetor is just going to stay right there until I get the new one. And like I said before, the new one will just go back on this engine here. And then I'm hoping I can get this engine here buttoned up today and hear it run. So, like, I've heard it run, but I want to hear it run on its own power without having to put gas or quick start down its intake. So, but anyways, that's where I'm at for now. I do gotta get a charge into this battery, so I'm gonna have to run an extension cord. As you can see, I do got a little bit of power, because like I was saying before, that plug by the window is working. So I have my tune going, just powering it off of the battery. So other than that, I am just ready to put this carburetor back on, but I'm gonna take a break for a second and put the carburetor on and hook up the fuel lines and see if we'll start. So stay tuned, and talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, it runs. I'll show it to you. A little bit smoky because there's paint on the intake, but it's alive. So like I said before, I was correct. It was the carburetor. So I'm happy that it runs, and stay tuned. Tell the motor's back together. Okay, I just got back from doing a couple different test runs. It seems to be doing okay now. I had to put a spacer in on the crankshaft, because the pulley actually kept on sliding out to the bottom, and the keyway was just barely catching, and it wasn't going anywhere. So let me show you what I did. As you can see, I no longer have that pulley sitting on the bottom there anymore. What I did was, I cut up a piece of pipe. Let's see if I can find it here in my little scrap metal corner. Right here. Basically cut the bottom, the one side off this piece of pipe, correct diameter, 1 inch, and basically it cut a little bit long, so I basically slipped that on the bottom of the crankshaft, and put the washer and the bolt back in, and it seems to be working fine. But it actually turned out I did something wrong on the drive line on this. I did not put the original spacer from the old engine on. So there's actually a small, about 1.5 inch spacer that goes from the bottom of the engine to the pulley, and I forgot to put that on there, but it is back on there now. Because the pulley was just moving around, I had no speed really, and it just was not working right, and I was actually starting to burn the belt. But now it seems to be working okay. Charging system's hooked back up. I just had to hook the little loop back into the ignition on run. So it is charging. It's charging at right. It was charging at about right around 13 volts, which is good enough. So I'm going to be keeping that battery in it for now until I can find a big battery for it. But other than that, it's running pretty good. Let me fire it up for you. Got the emergency brake on. Yeah, I was able to get that to work again. All you gotta do is you gotta push down the brake and you gotta move it around a bit, and you can actually get it to lock in, which is nice. It seems to be okay. Obviously that muffler is not the correct muffler for it, but it actually is working out pretty good with that muffler. And the welds on are pretty good as well. So there's no real holes between the exhaust and that muffler. So that's pretty much it for this for now. I'm not going to do it now, but I gotta get the hood bolted back on, and that's pretty much it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. And next step with this is doing the new voltage gauge. I don't have money to get a voltage gauge for it right now, and I gotta get an oil pressure gauge. I was debating on doing an idiot light or a pressure gauge. Most likely I'm gonna do a pressure gauge. A little bit easier. Actually the idiot light's the easiest, but the pressure gauge I prefer them the most. So just gotta do that, and I gotta wait for the carburetor to come in to put the carburetor back on the Red Rocket. And I'll have both of these up and running. But this one here, heck, it's fast. I'm actually going to be leaving the mower arm on here as what they call a holy shit bar. This tractor needs a holy shit bar, yeah. So that's actually going to stay on there just to give me something else to hold on to while I'm driving this thing. It's that fast as it sits right now. And the steering is so dead on. Just steer a little wee bit and it just goes left or right. So I cannot do a drive video of this until I get a camera mount. Most likely I'm do some sort of a mount right in the middle of the dash there for this camera, or what I'll do is I'm planning on getting a GoPro. So if I get enough from taxes this year, I'm probably gonna get a GoPro. So, but anyways, that's pretty much it for this. I met my object, what I wanted to do. I wanted to make this be able to run and drive by snow, and we haven't got snow yet, and it runs and drives. So if we do eventually get snow, I can actually park it over there and I can bring it out every once in a while and still have some fun with it. So I guess I'll talk to everyone later. Please keep it redneck like always, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and have a great day.